Thank you for tuning in to NSUSpartans.com for our weekly interview with Spartan football coach Pete Adrian. Today we wrap up the team's 44-10 loss at Ohio University last Saturday and look ahead to another key MEAC matchup this week against South Carolina State. And Coach, as we look back on the Ohio game, now that you've had a chance to look at the film, overall, how would you assess your team's performance?
Well, I really thought our performance in the first half was poor. We did not play well. We gave them too many short fields. I think they had 5 or 6 scores where they had 45 yards or less to go for points. And when you're playing a team like that, you just can't do that. If you play any team and you give them that type of field position, you're going to be in trouble. So we've got to be able to get out of the blocks and start a lot better this week.
Obviously, as you said, slow starts have been a bit of a concern for you here the last couple games. Obviously, you don't go into any game, planning to fumble on the first play or give up a score on your first defensive chance there. But what are you as coaches going to say to your team this week to try to get them to kind of turn things around and get started a little quicker?
Well, we had a real nice meeting yesterday. We went over a couple of videos that we put together and just made them realize what we're doing and how important it is that you got to play every play and make sure that we control the ball, make sure that we cover kicks, make sure that we try to catch the passes, all the things you're supposed to do, and try to get re-emphasis back on that.
Obviously, it was going to be a tough ball game going into Ohio, a team that's receiving votes in the top 25 AP poll and has won at Penn State. Big halftime deficit, but nonetheless, you came back and played them even in the second half and were able to move the ball in the fourth quarter. So obviously, there were some positives that came away from it.
Well, one thing, our kids are always going to play the full 60 minutes, and we just want them to play better. That's the key to it. And again, you would go into those ball games, you just can't make any critical mistakes, and unfortunately we made a couple early and let them get up on top, and you get a team up on top of you by 20, 24 points, it's really hard to come back, especially somebody that caliber. I mean, when you can go in and beat Penn State at Penn State, you're a heck of a football team.
In the fourth quarter, probably the highlight of the game, at least for you offensively, your second unit put together a 13-play, 80-yard drive, capped off by Randy Main's touchdown run. How nice was it for you to see the offense get in the end zone there at the end and at least carry some momentum away from the game into this coming week?
Well, it was positive because we had to get a drive going, and again, we were able to sustain that, and then also that's one reason why we took the field goal at the end of the ball game too, just because we wanted to get practice out there in a game situation, and they performed well and made a nice 42-yard field goal back here, and that's also a confidence builder.
Obviously, things don't get much easier for you this week as you stay on the road again, another long road trip down to South Carolina to face South Carolina State. This will be a unique matchup in that it's the two teams who were picked first and second in the preseason poll, yet both come in 0-1, so whatever happens Saturday, a good football team is going to be 0-2 in the conference.
Right, and you certainly want to do that. You don't want to be that guy that goes 0-2, but we know it's going to be difficult. Norfolk State's never won in Orangeburg, and so we're hoping to try to change that. But I'm sure they're saying you're not going to do that. So really, has the makings. It should be an outstanding football game. I know both teams are going to play very hard. Coach Pugh always has his guys ready to go, and we should be ready to roll too.
How do you judge the mindset of your team at this point? Obviously, it's been a couple of seasons now since you've lost 2 ball games in a row, which is where you are now at 2-2 overall.
Well, it's a conference, and they know exactly where we are, and they know what this game means. And the practice yesterday was very spirited, and we expect it to be like this all week. And we'll get on the bus and go down there and do the best we can.
Obviously, South Carolina State has had a difficult early season schedule, just like your team has back-to-back FBS games at Texas A&M and at Arizona. So the Bulldogs come in 1-3, but obviously that record can be a little deceiving.
Well, any team in our league and basically maybe any other league would be the same thing. I mean, if you think you're going to go beat Arizona at Arizona and beat Texas A&M at Texas A&M, put on the film and watch those crowds and watch those athletes running around, that's not going to happen.
Obviously, South Carolina State has made their hallmark with a physical, aggressive defense and also a good running game and lots of athletes on both sides of the ball. Does this look like a typical South Carolina State team to you?
Very much so. I mean, offensive line is very big, very athletic. They've got one of the best wide receivers in the league, certainly the fastest and number one. The other guys playing have been starters for a couple of years. They got 3 or 4 running backs, have been playing there for 3 or 4 years. He's got 2 different quarterbacks. Either one of them's a starter. And the defense has always been what it is, very aggressive, and they've got depth. So it's a good football team, and, we got to play well to stay with them.
What will be some of the keys you think X's and O's wise for your team to be able to come out with a victory this Saturday?
Well, I think field position is really going to be huge. We can't give anybody a short field, but we got to make sure that they got to go 70, 80 yards, and then of course we'd like to put some offense together ourselves and get some scores on the board. It's a lot easier to play the game when it's tight instead of being behind.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, we wish you good luck this Saturday. A key contest for your team at South Carolina State. Kickoff is 2 p.m. in Orangeburg as the Spartans take on the host Bulldogs. South Carolina State comes in with a 1-3 record, while Norfolk State is 2-2 on the season. If you can't make it to Orangeburg this Saturday, we certainly encourage you to listen to the game on 102.1 FM, and you can also hear the audio stream online at 1021fmthegame.com. As always, for more information on Spartan football, visit our website, nsuspartans.com.